Inpatient. Ren and Chris Webby have been making us laugh, have been making us cry, have been making us wonder what in the unicorn farts is happening. And now it's time for Madhouse. On this journey of the Inpatient project, Ren and Chris Webby's duo collab called Inpatient, and their album, Asylum, they've been releasing one song after the other. It is really impressive. Not only their literary art and wordsmithery, not only the beautiful rhyme schemes and cadence flows and how melodic and rhythmic they rap and sing, not only their beautiful voices and timbres and how they complement each other. I think the human mind is intrigued, especially when we see duos, kind of like some of y'all love when two people react and you can like see the energy ping-ponging off of not only the reactors, but the reactors and the audience. It's intriguing when we see groups of 2 or 3 and how that affects the human mind. But you have these two artists that are very unique as individuals. They come together and they complement each other so well. And not everybody clicks like that, and they just click. And I think that's intriguing to us human beings as well, to seeing relationships that actually work. But then you add on top of that their music videos are phenomenal, and that every song almost feels like its own genre and vibe. It's very unique and standalone, and yet it fits to this red thread of a conversation about the human experience, madness, mental health, and more. And then you have music videos that just have all kinds of different cinematography. We will go from black and white feel to raving colors, neon lights, and EDM feel. We go from that vintage vibe to animation to clay figure and puppetry to now that old school cartoon vibe that I'm getting. I'm getting Powerpuff Girls meets, what is it? Ren and Chris Webby as vintage cartoons in Madhouse. That's what that thumbnail is making me think of. So I can't wait to check it out with you. Subscribe. And here we go. Terrace was saying something about that. The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's what Terrace was saying. Is that what he was referring to? T saw one of those thumbnails and said something about The Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's listen. Madhouse. Oof. Ren. Yeah. Oh, those ad-libs, my guy. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Attention all inpatients. There's been an escape. Everyone back to your fucking cells now.
Yeah. See, me and Ren came to bring the place down. Off in this madhouse, I make my way round. My marbles all gone, they lost and ain't found. This rubber room's home, the hall's my playground. We them loony bin prisoners full of piss and the vinegar, and plans to make it up the perimeter. So I left the guard's throat slit to steal his outfit, and slipped away quick and dipped out with the visitors. Bit with the visitor, past the guards, bypass alarms, master classes.
This is what I'm talking about. If this ain't wordsmithery, this is why I love rap. Good rap like this, because that is a literary art. The phonics, blah, 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 I can't even think. Certain emphasis on certain syllables and consonants, the rhyme schemes, the word smithery, the phonics play. It sounds good. It's stimulating to the human mind, in my opinion.
Get up the perimeter, so I left the guard's throat slit to steal his outfit, and slipped away quick and dipped out with the visitors. Bit with the visitor, past the guards, bypass alarms, master class, escape artist, flipping the light switch, pandemonium hits. It's sick boy in the web, real twisted kids that grew up to misfits, but shocks the shoe fits, so we cook up hits for bad lunatics. Cause a sick world needs some sick music, and a sick boy Webby, we do produce it.
Yes.
All guards report in now. This is not a fucking drill.
So everybody gather round. It's the greatest show in town.
Hey. Wow. It's catchy.
When the voices get too loud, just come on down.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Trapped in the cell inside of myself, so bar.
That nod to those old school cartoons is just freaking brilliant.
Come on down.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Trapped in the cell inside of myself, so bar for bar, I outbar.
That was brilliant. Trapped in the cell inside of myself. What is that a conversation about? We'll talk later.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Trapped in the cell inside of myself, so bar for bar, I outbar, bar low health, I feel nothing, I just wanna feel something. Let me demonstrate my method of spontaneous combustion, not busting. Concussed with adrenaline rushing, pick up the whole raw bench press like it's nothing, fuck 'em. Struck up a cut, head bottom, where's the buttons on this straight jacket, Webby?
We them loose screwed impatience, we twisted impatient, gifted with skills, afflicted with greatness, both a bit sick and shit is contagious. That's why we're locked in cells down in the basement. And they ain't never seen no kind of shit like Brandon Webby did it. All you other rappers gotta find a way to level with it. Someone crack a window, we about to let the devil in it. Cause we don't run from the madness, we revel in it.
Run for your fucking lives! They've taken over!
How the tables have turned. Okay, this was not a drill. Someone has escaped. Get your act together. Let's do this. Now the guards need to run. They've taken over. The tables have turned. It's done. It's done.
About to let the devil in it. Cause we don't run from the madness, we revel in it.
I so appreciate the red thread between each song on this album. It's mind-blowing how every track feels like a standalone track. You could listen to it in and of itself and be mind-blown. And yet there's not the devil in it. That feels like we're going way back to the beginning of their first release. Just, ooh, the trumpets and that vintage feel. The whole composition is brilliant. Oh, I freaking love that. When you can have an album where every song is just a masterpiece. Ah.
Run for your fucking lives! They've taken over!
So everybody gather round.
Makes you want to sing along,
It's the
doesn't it?
greatest show in
There are the
town.
pills. Oh, wow.
And when the voices get too loud, just come on down.
When the voices get too loud, just come on down.
I'm the king of prescriptions, a compound pharmacy. So place your bets, what side effects will you get? It's a mystery.
The truth bombs. The truth bombs.
The doctor says he'll cure me with all these magic pills. They say these meds will
Red and
fix my
blue.
head, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, I still qualify as mentally ill.
Me too, get the meds and I'll store them with the bill.
Web chill, you gotta stop acting like a heathen. Plus you know the shit'll hit harder if you eat them.
Either way it's cool, Rand, really I don't give a fuck. Let's run them up till they lock us back up.
Fuck that, bad luck, cause I'm fast as fuck, no catching up. They won't see me back in cough.
I heard that. Fuck it, I'm lost, my mind's manic. Fried frantic, I'm cooked, slag and dynamic.
As the world burns, fuck it, we're doing it live, damn it.
Till we go down like the band on the Titanic.
Oh my gosh, like the band on the Titanic. All while they have that swings jazzy band feel throughout the whole song. These guys are geniuses. These guys are geniuses. We could talk about this for days and days. Like I said, even before with their last release, you have this beautiful contrast between something so entertaining and yet so deep. I love the pill here. The pill design here is wild from Madhouse with the syringe on it. Attention, all inpatients, there's been an escape, okay? It's beautiful storytelling because I think psychologically our mind wants to know where this is going to go. Who are the patients that have escaped? Who's gotten out? Are they going to get away or not? It's very human for us to want to see where this happens. And of course, depending on who's listening, the desire, let me take these off, the desire for the outcome is going to vary. Some want to see the people be caught back and put back to safety. Some want them to escape. Some people are for the hero. Some people are for the villain of the story, the protag or antagonist. And the human mind, I think, is always intrigued or often intrigued and wants to see where this is going to go. So there's a lot of storytelling here that makes it fun. That whole swing, jazzy feel of the composition, that vintage cartoon vibe, it's brilliant. And it's so fun because they can live out all kinds of stuff without having to do it in real life, I hope. They can escape out of the asylum or the madhouse and escape the police, and they can live out all these things in their cartoon life. And I think that's fitting, having all this happen versus doing it, acting it out in real life, or having them actually have a music video where they're the ones doing the running away. They could have done that. But I think there's something powerful about this being an animation because it is a feeling of nostalgia. It's very fun to watch, but also it's powerful because they're acting out, they're experiencing all these things in their mind. So when you watch a cartoon, a lot of times as kids, we might watch a cartoon and we might feel like we can be the superhero. We might watch these Disney princess movies, or my sisters and I would, and we would try to figure out who is which princess, which princess matches who the best. Not necessarily just looks, but also behavior, personality-wise, right? We might watch cartoons and picture ourselves doing these cool stunts or driving the car or being powerful or jumping over bridges and giant valleys. Cartoons allow us to experience things in the mind that we might not be able to do in real life. And so for this to be a cartoon music video and it be about mental health, and the Madhouse just fits so well because a lot of the battle when it comes to mental health is in the mind. I love how he said that being the cell inside himself, I think was a powerful lyric because it is this conversation about not fitting in the world, being a real misfit, a twisted kid, right? Shucks, the shoe fits, right? You know that expression, well, if the shoe fits, wear it, right? It fits. I'm called these things. I'm being told that this is what I am, but I guess it's true. You have a conversation about external assumptions or a bias about who we might be, about the external forces that want to decide what is neurodivergent, what is not, what makes someone normal or not, but also an internal battle between trying to figure out who am I? If what people are saying fits, can I accept that identity? Is this really who I am? I think it's a conversation about that battle between trying to break free of a madhouse, wanting to be free, wanting to not be stuck away in an asylum. And then also that switch in the storytelling where now it says all guards report, it's not a drill, and then saying, oh, they took over, run for your lives. It's all the whole scene has, the whole script has been flipped, if you will. Trapped in a cell inside myself, so bar for bar, I outbar low health. I mean, brilliant, bar for bar, right? Speaking about rapping and one bar, one phrase after the other, one rap bar after the other, but also saying I outbar as in I outdo bar low health. You know, when you set the bar low, my health isn't well, right? I'm not doing well. I feel nothing. I just want to feel something. I think this is a powerful lyric because it talks about a lot of people's real life experience where they are looking for some type of therapy counseling where they're labeled unhealthy or need to go to a madhouse because they want to feel something. They don't feel anything. They're looking maybe to medication to do different things to try to feel that. I think it's every human desire for us to feel. A lot of us don't want to feel certain things. We don't want to feel pain or grief. But a lot of times people feel numb and they long to feel. They want to feel alive. And that's that terrible tragedy in life is that both things come at the same time. Really feeling means you do feel the anxiety and the depression and the hardships, but it also means you can feel joy. Let me demonstrate my method of spontaneous combustion. I bust in, concussed with adrenaline rushing. I mean, the word Smithery is just beautiful. Pick up the whole world, bench press like it's nothing. FM struck uppercut, headbutt him. Where's the buttons on this straitjacket, Webby? All right. Pick up the world, bench press like it's nothing. To me, this almost makes me think of the illusions of grandeur when you are mentally not well and you think you can do anything. I think on one hand, of course, there's a scale to this. I think that there's something very human about wishing we could do wonderful things. I've found myself watching a certain movie or watching a soccer game or just experiencing the world and wishing I could step in and save the world or do something supernatural or show up with supernatural speed or strength and achieve whatever. I think it's very human for us to wish we could bench press God knows what. But then at the same time, I think on that scale is also the levels where people actually have illusions of grandeur and they think they can do things that they're not capable of. You find people on various levels of that scale in life. You have the Dunning-Kruger effect where people overestimate their abilities in certain areas. Right? People fall onto different levels in that scale. But here I feel like there's a conversation about that. We them loose-screwed impatience. We twisted impatient, gifted with skills, afflicted with greatness. Brilliant. Both a bit sick and shit is contagious. That's why we're locked in cells down in the basement. We ain't never seen no kind of ish like Ren and Webby did. All you other rappers got to find a way to level with it. I love that, a little bit of that cocky, flexing, which we often find in rap. This idea of you try to keep up. Everybody gather around. It's the greatest show in town, and all fitting to that jazz feel. When the voices get too loud, just come on down. And here, I feel like there's a level of inclusivity. They're talking about themselves. They're talking about being different, not fitting in. But at the same time, you have something very inclusive, which I also found in Neurodivergent, where there's this idea of, hey, if you fit in, if you're a misfit too, come on and join us. If you've been labeled crazy, if you feel misunderstood, if you feel trapped in your mind, or you're struggling with your mental health, or you're not neurotypical, or you feel like something's wrong, when those voices get too loud, come on down. There's an honest conversation about mental health and about certain struggles in life, but also a comforting hope, in my opinion, a welcoming to people that feel like they might not fit in with your regular crowd. I'm the king of prescriptions, a compound pharmacy, so place your bets. What side effect will you get? This part I appreciated too, because I do think that while they were addressing the conversation about neurodivergence in that track, and it was an honest conversation about that whole world and what that experience looks like. It was very welcoming and inclusive. I do think it also questioned the corporations that are quick to label someone neurodivergent. And it was a conversation about what does make someone typical or not, and who is the one to decide all that. As they were showing the compassion and understanding for that topic, they also questioned certain stigma, stereotypes, and matters that surround that topic. And here I see the same thing. They're talking about mental health. It's a very funky beat and feeling, and yet we're also addressing the pharmaceutical companies and prescriptions. And I do feel like that's an important part of the conversation, because that's often what you hear. These doctors saying that he'll cure me with all these magic pills, and it's almost like placing a bet. What side effect will I get? I mean, you see these ads sometimes with people smiling and dancing, and it's a commercial for some type of medicine, and then they talk about the side effects while, you know, this lady's jogging with her dog and this man looks as happy as can be. And the narrator in the background is talking about you may develop some type of disease on your private area, some type of warts in your buttocks, and, you know, your left eye might pop out and you may die. But try this medicine. I mean, terrible, right? And so I do feel like even though there's a lot of just open-mindedness for certain topics and in a very entertaining, playful way, talking about mental health and wanting to escape our own mind, but also the madhouse maybe of society and of how they box us in. At the same time, they're not shying away from also bringing up some of the more controversial topics when it comes to prescriptions and these pharmacies and an industry that says this is the pill you've got to take. They say these meds gonna fix my head, but I don't think they will. I still qualify as mentally ill. Me too. Get the meds and I'll snort them with the bill. Jesus, you got to stop acting like a heathen. Plus, you know the ish will hit harder if you eat them. Freaking catchy and brilliant, these two. Each song, just another masterpiece. These guys. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this one? How does this one make you feel? What do you think they meant to say with this one? Is it just entertainment, or is there something deeper? Talk to me in the comments. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next ride. Please, please, please help me support Chris Webby. Obviously, subscribe to Ren if you haven't yet. But let's show the world. Let's show the music industry. Let's show these greedy corporations that independent artists can do it too, and that reaction channels and videos on YouTube and on other platforms are the new radio. We're the ones calling from the rooftop, ayo, this is new. This is what you got to listen to. And I want to see that same thing happen for Chris. That's really important to me right now. So can you do that?